Welcome to Head to Dead, where we take two similar horror movies, compare them to find out who comes out ahead and who winds up dead. I'm Heretical with my friend,
Edge.
and this week it's The Conjuring versus.
Insidious.
Let's hop into it. Let's jump into The Conjuring. When a family of 7 move into a new home, an evil presence makes itself known. The mother recruits the help of paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, to lift the curse on the land. Alright, man, let me hear your thoughts on Conjuring.
Well, I have some good things to say, but I have more bad things to say. I'll start by telling you that I think that it is a meddling movie. Like, I don't feel like it's paint by numbers. Like, it's very, very, very predictable. And after the first viewing of it, I feel like it's really just kind of a snore. There's not much there to entice you to watch it a second time.
I can see that because, once you already know everything that's going on, it's kind of just takes away from everything else. Like, there's no more secrecy, there's no more hidden things.
Yeah, it doesn't do what a lot of other movies do. It doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't focus on being entertaining. It focuses on, I feel like they wrote the script and they wanted to execute that script as efficiently and paint by numbers as possible, and they didn't put a lot of thought into actually making it entertaining on more than that one surface level.
I get that, and let's just go on record that the two movies that we are reviewing this week are written and directed by the same person.
You told me that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of also sort of makes it a little difficult, but I still think one is better than the other.
I will say though, there was some acting in this movie that I thought was pretty good because, like, whenever the kids are screaming in the house and the dad gets home, and he just drops everything and runs. He doesn't question it. He doesn't anything. That's the first time in a long time I've seen a movie where
he doesn't just go, huh?
Yeah, they actually act. They don't just react.
Yeah, the whole. I liked the family dynamic. I thought they were a pretty pseudo-believable family.
Yeah, and I also thought that earlier on when we were actually watching this, you mentioned that this is the first time you've seen where a family in a big house actually needed a big house.
Yes, because like Insidious, for example, they were in these huge houses and they have like 1 or 2 kids, and it's just, what's the point of that?
It was a whole ordeal. Then the people coming in, the same actors. You have Ed, who is also in the other movie we're reviewing. And then you have Lorraine, which I think she's wonderful. I think she's a good actor to me. You might hate her.
I don't hate her. I'll say that I think her outfits are ridiculous. She dresses like she's going up for like Bram Stoker's Dracula or some shit. Like the collars on this woman. Yeah, and all the jewelry. Yeah, that was kind of annoying. But I don't know. Maybe that's how actual what's her face actually dresses.
Do you think that? Like,
maybe I'm about to find out after this. Though.
I mean, we might.
Just drip all day.
I will say though, where the movie does lose a couple points for me, as you know, I'm an animal lover.
Here we go with the
I
dog
know,
thing.
But you knew it was coming as soon as it happened. The moment the dog actually died, I was upset.
The weird thing about that is at the end of the movie, not the end, in the middle, she's like, "Well, luckily the spirit hasn't done anything violent yet." I was like, "He killed that dog. How is that not violent?" Like,
also yanking children out of their bed.
That's kind of violent. That's definitely you have aggression towards my children, obviously. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought the movie was fine. I kind of do agree with you though. Yeah. After you see it the first time, it does kind of.
You go to the theaters, you take your wife or your girlfriend, and do the little jump scares, and you say "whoa," and then you forget about it. That's Absolutely. What I thought. Let's get possessed by Insidious. When the Lamberts move into a new home, their son Dalton mysteriously falls into a coma. At the behest of a desperate mother, they contact a medium who reveals forgotten secrets of the father. So what do you think about Insidious? Did it possess you?
I'm going to be honest with you. It was okay. It didn't blow me out of the water. But then again, like I said, it's just kind of off and on. Like, it has its good moments, it has its bad moments. The same director from Conjuring directed this one, so it's going to, of course, have the same people in it. Probably going to have a little bit of the same jump scares. Mm-hmm. I will say Darth Maul kind of throws you off a bit.
The demon.
The demon having a red face. Like, And the kid saying, "Oh, the man with the fire face." I was like, "What
This
fire?"
kid is obviously not comprehending exactly what the color red is.
No, he thinks it's fire.
Yeah.
So I guess fire, passion, hot. I don't know.
That's how he talks. Fire, passion, hot. I'll say I think that this one had a little more pizzazz to it. I liked the instrumental cues were really cool, like the little screeching violin and stuff. I'm a sucker for that, so I like what they did with the music with this one. And I think, although they are very similar and they both have these paint by numbers aesthetics and scenarios, I think that what brought it elevated a little higher was the musical cues and stuff. And they had some creative ideas. The medium and like the gas mask and the talking to the man through the headphones and stuff like that. That's stuff that was unique. And to me, I feel like The Conjuring was missing sort of that. They just went boom, 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 A, B, A, B. And they didn't have this little thing sprinkled in. This one has aesthetics. This one has style.
So do you think they use like what they call it, the nightmare box to make the music? Or do you think they actually had like the violins?
You know what? It's funny you say that because there's a band, one of my favorite bands, I don't think they're around anymore, called the Thermals. They used a similar instrument to the Nightmare Box to get a lot of sounds in a couple of their songs. And I actually was wondering that, but I don't know. I really don't. It sounded like violin to me, but I'm not like a music expert. Are you? Yeah.
Also, something I kind of noticed, the Johnny Depp looking vampire ghost, like there's a variety of different ghosts.
It's like Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah. So there's a variety of different ghosts in this film. But there's like this one that stood out that I swear to God, he looked like Johnny Depp dressed as a vampire, and he was just chasing people at walls and stuff.
Was he the one that had you get close to him and he's like missing his...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But from like whenever he
kept saying Johnny Depp.
Yeah, whenever he first showed up, he had like his hair tied back, and he was just like, "I'm here," and I was like, "That's Johnny Depp." So I was really
best cameo ever.
I was really thrown off by it. I was very confused why he was here, but also I would have been excited. Johnny Depp's in my house.
Whoa. Can I get drawn?
But I did like the variety of different ghosts. Those were nice.
Deal breaker for me with the movie. They move in. They've got this beautiful house, right? I'll go on a side note for a second. Why is every movie that has ghosts and spirits, they're just constantly moving into new houses? There's no exception. It's never, we've lived here for a year and now the ghost shows up. Because they always go out of their way to say, it's not the house. The demon's attached to you. Okay, so why is it always when you move into a new house? But
you got me on
back on my first tangent is that man is a teacher. How are they affording that house on a teacher's salary? What is going on with that? That is an enormous house.
That's true.
That's the most unrealistic. I'll take Ghost any day. They're not affording the mortgage on that place.
That's true. Yeah, it was a big house, but I agree with you on it's just back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah. Just a little bit better for me.
So, my friend, which movie brings you out of this coma?
Okay. Again, like I said a couple of times before, A and B, kind of middling movies. Insidious comes ahead for me just a little bit because they just spice that little bit of pepper on top, like the gas mask thing and the way they draw the demon while she's looking at it. Little things like that. It's really the difference between eating a piece of bread dry and eating a piece of bread with butter. Not a huge difference, but one is obviously better than the other.
Yeah, one scene I did like was whenever at the end she took that photo of the dad, and it was not
why
him.
Did you do that?
He freaked out on her and was like, I'll kill you.
Yeah, because it turns out like the big bad is actually like the old woman who's been pursuing because we find out that they repress the dad's abilities to astral project.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like he was the proprietor of the whole situation. So his little demon or whatever ended up being the main bad guy as opposed to like the red-faced guy. That was that kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
I just feel like he could have made it if he didn't stop to confront her.
Yeah, I know.
He was
why
like,
didn't he just run
why
away?
are you here? It's like, just keep going.
You're not going to get the answers now.
Just get out of this.
Get your son out of here and keep that demon man out.
Yeah, so the ending was good, that little plot twist there, but
I thought it had better scares too. I thought there was more potential for scariness, and I appreciated how in that movie they like the demons, the ghosts, whatever we're gonna call them, were physically present in the real world more. So they were there with you. Like, it wasn't like you were seeing something move. You would see an actual, like, entity, and you don't see that a lot.
Yeah, so let's just say if you're sitting in a room and you see a cup fly off the wall, that wasn't happening. You saw an actual person picking up the cup and throwing it.
They did a really good job about mostly showing actual entities instead of just using your imagination, which I get it. You know, what you don't see is always more scary, but in this case, I feel like they succeeded in making an actual scary movie with they both showed and tell.
Yeah, I can respect that, man. Your answer gives great valor.
I think just Conjuring is more. It's okay. It's just fine. I mean, it doesn't do anything wrong, but it's like you've seen it a million times. Amityville Horror, 1,000 other movies.
Probably doesn't help that these two movies were directed by the same people.
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like one is better. I feel like his is better than the other one.
So if you were sitting in this room and you had to choose which one to watch right now,
Insidious, yeah,
okay, I can respect that.
It's funner. It's more fun.
Okay, I respect that.
You feel the same or different?
I'm different, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Conjuring?
Yeah, I actually choose The Conjuring.
Okay.
I know Insidious has a whole line of movies, like 3 or 4.
I think they both are. They started. Yeah, they both go on to make franchises, don't they? Yeah. With the doll, the Annabelle.
Yeah. So Insidious has a couple movies out. Like, I'm gonna say like 4 or 5. I'm not even sure anymore. Mm-hmm. But then Conjuring has 5 Conjuring movies, and then they have La Llorona. Yeah. And then
the Nun one,
the
doll,
and there's so many different versions of it, mm-hmm. and they're all jumping you into the backstory.
I'll agree with you in that scenario. I do like that they created kind of like a universe, and that's cool. There's a universe that you can get into the lore, and it's very Marvel-esque in that.
That's what I liked about it was soon as they introduced Annabelle.
Can I say one thing though? Can I cut you off just a minute? I feel like you are judging. You're taking the movies that are in the future and judging the merits of the first one. So that seems a little unfair to me.
You know what? I didn't think about that.
I mean, far be it from me. Don't change your answer or anything. But I'm just saying, I was more saying cut and dry, movie to movie, not.
Okay. Well, if it was just Insidious versus Conjuring, I'm still gonna pick Conjuring, mm-hmm. because to me personally, when I watched this movie, there are still parts of it that got me more. Like, I jumped a little bit more than I did in Insidious.
That's fair.
Where yours, you had your moments.
Yes, I think the scariness was okay for me, but what drew me to pick Insidious was just they went a little more unique with it, and I can appreciate something unique.
And I think one of the things that also kind of frightens me is what frightens a lot of other people is the fact that at the beginning it says this is based on a true story.
They always get you with that, don't they?
So even if it's not real, that still sticks in the back of your head.
Like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you're like, is Leatherface gonna...
So that sticks in the back of your head, like, this could actually happen.
Yeah, Blair Witch is a good example of that. Blair Witch Project.
Exactly. So some old lady hung herself in a tree and cursed her land.
Some old lady
could happen.
Old lady joined the Hunger Games and
volunteers as tribute. And next thing you know, she's killing everybody on her property.
So, it's
the like Placid all over again.
Okay, so that's on our list. I think later on.
Is it?
Placid, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're going Conjuring.
I'm
going
Conjuring.
Insidious. Final verdict for us. Yeah.
That's it.
So now you've heard our thoughts. Let's hear yours. Let us know what movie you think is better. And let us know what you want us to handle next. Next week, we're doing a recommendation from TikTok. Jelly Beans recommended It Follows versus
Smile.